So, jetzt haben wir es. Now we're in the right layout, I think. Good evening, everybody. We are back with Conan. We were not waiting still for one of our players, but it looks like technical issues are keeping him away from us, so we will have to be down to 3 players. That means you don't need as much momentum, right?
You're not going to take it away from us,
more. How we will make all the lore and language, roles.
That's right.
Without him.
Yeah. Dungeon, Doom Master, I call myself in this game. Your Doom Master might have to.
It's quite the oversight of the game that they didn't, just call it Doom Master from the beginning.
Yeah, I don't actually know.
They really messed up there. No, they didn't.
Okay.
No.
Must have come from me, or maybe it came from Blood and Doom, which is another role-playing game, which is vaguely Conan-y.
Yeah.
Which is I'm still waiting for my books for that.
Yeah, I think didn't we want to check out the quick start rules?
Yeah, at some point. Yeah, I've got them all here, but I've got so many games lining up, and we were just talking about possibly doing a Hexen game, which is a German role-playing game in English. I talked about it, made a video about it ages ago, but there might be some renewed momentum behind it because there's a second edition of it now, and they just funded their British Islands sort of thing, Sourcebook. That just went live. Well, it just went through, I should say, the Kickstarter. But anyway, enough of that. We are on an island, not on the British Islands. We are on an island somewhere deep in the south of the seas here. Don't even know what they're called in Conan on the world map. Do you remember what it's called down here?
The sea itself?
The sea itself.
Oh.
Does it have a name? Along the Black Coast, or not quite, but we are towards the nameless isle here off the coast of Kush.
Got it right here. Western Sea.
Yeah, well, that's Western Seas, or Western Ocean. I've got there. The Southwestern Sea. Come up with a better name, I'm sure we can.
The Kushite Sea.
Why not the Kushite Sea? That's where our players are stranded on this little island here, because they have been following the track of an artifact of... Do you remember what it is?
The artifact?
What's the artifact called?
The Eye of Acheron.
Yes. And what does it do? What has it done to you so far?
Send us into the dream world.
Mainly.
Send you to the dream world, yes. Long way away. Distract you to another world. But basically, there seems to be your fate is now entwined with this artifact, and it seems to have an important role to play in the fate of one Xothath, whose soul seems to be caught in it and being transported to the afterworld, and he might have to face judgment. But anyway, you on this island. You landed after being shipwrecked on the northern coast, just on the map that was up here. You then went, last time we explored a little bit of a sort of graveyard, necropolis, whatever you want to call it.
Like a tomb, isn't it? Yeah.
A big tomb. You then went back along the coast and eventually came across some fields and some towers and so on. Went inland a little bit and you saw this ancient fortress that was sitting on the hillside above you. Which is actually the background that one of our players has right now. Point behind you, if you're the person. Come on, Shira. You've got the background of the fortress, Douglas. Don't point to the wrong player.
Oh, yes, I do.
You're just confusing everybody.
Just confusing.
Don't confuse everybody. That's not good. Because we're confused enough already. So, you tried to find a way into this place, but you didn't quite manage. Instead, you managed to find your way into the arena, which is sort of next to it. I'll just show you the castle picture again, the fortress picture, because I like it so much.
Yay.
So, you couldn't quite get into that, but next to it, you can just about see it on our map under your token. Let me just move your token briefly. This is arena, and you scaled the walls of it. Yeah, our Durzo was very, very good in getting up there, and the others followed, and you were hanging about in that arena, and you noticed a couple of other guards. And did they notice you? Did they spot you?
Not so far.
No, but it was close.
I was close.
Like, my last note for the last session was still hidden.
Still hidden. Oh, that's useful. So,
and they're partially armored and they're quite short, or a lot shorter than us.
They're definitely a bit shorter than you are. I think, let me just see whether I've got some cards for you. There's a guard, and there's a guard sergeant. There we go. They are down there in the arena somewhere. They're in the shaded tunnel. That's why I had initially not seen them, actually. Just make sure this is only one guard. And yeah, that's where we left it last time. You seem to see, there seems to be a tunnel that leads from this arena to the rest of the fortress, but it's definitely gated at this end and probably gated at the other end. So it might not be a great way of getting in.
You need to try check it out then.
Yeah.
And these guards are in that tunnel. So
they're sort of in the entranceway from this arena into the tunnel because there's a nice shady spot there. But it was, I can't remember. What's the time of day? I didn't manage to actually watch our last episode again.
it's
probably afternoon.
Well into the afternoon.
Yeah.
Afternoon, early evening, I think. Something like that.
Yeah.
So you don't have a lot of daylight left because night comes suddenly.
Not bad idea though. Too dark.
We are all on top of the wall at the moment.
Yes.
Like we managed to get, the entire group up.
Yeah,
I was I kind of slipped, and that was how we ended up almost drawing attention.
Yes, there was a noise of some falling stones, brickwork.
So should we try to interrogate one of them, or should we just, make clean work and see if we can get in through the gate they are guarding?
It may be difficult to get through that gate because if there's two,
But we can make a distraction. So, for example, someone could drop some rocks over in one corner. They may then go to investigate, and then someone else can drop down, sneak in, and see what's up there.
Yeah, but the arena is round, so no matter where the guards are, they will always see the gate.
But if they're walking towards a noise, they're focused in one direction, and
Given that they're
down
one
behind
this
them.
doesn't
yeah, exactly.
noise.
We could try that, or we could wait until nightfall and then do something in the dark.
So are we on a ledge where we're here standing, and then there's a ledge where we can see down, and we can walk around?
You could, however, you have to keep in mind this is not well maintained. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
there's some stones missing here and there. There's like pebbles lying about. There's moss. There's other growth coming over here. So basically, it could be a bit hazardous. It's not just something where you can just sneak along and say, "Oh, like easy." You will have to roll for sneaking, etc. But you could walk around the top. Yeah,
But when we're up on the top, we could be seen.
you could potentially be seen. There's not constant cover. I just said where you came over, there's going to be some cover because you picked that place. But as you can see here, it's not a constant wall in front of you that you can crouch behind.
Yeah, gotcha.
Need a 3D model here, don't we? So
No, we're trying to
change
get the
perspective.
impression. So is the tunnel effectively what we're looking out of on the picture?
You're looking, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That's the tunnel.
So, Creus, you have ranged, don't you?
I do. I have a bow.
And there's only two.
Two that you can see. You can't see into the tunnel very far. There might be another 2,000 there.
I'd rather the sneak approach. Make a noise, draw them away. I can drop down and sneak in.
Yeah, or maybe
Two
Shira
people
could
do the
sneak around. We can distract. One goes to check out. You take it out with your range weapon, and in the meantime, Shira drops down and knives the second one.
Yeah.
Doing the Assassin's Creed one here.
I thought that was the inspiration you were going for here. Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Conan. We haven't got that yet. I think it's...
Don't know whether they're our enemies yet, though, do we?
I mean,
Oh, I think.
Well,
I don't think.
we saw a lot of corpses outside of the main fortress. So
And you witnessed a
Yes.
nighttime raid on the
my
camp.
understanding is that they shoot everyone besides themselves on sight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did come after people in the camp. At night.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, like, did we confirm it? Like, are they so distinctly different that the guys we saw in the night are the same as the guards? Like, I'm talking, are they like a different species almost?
You didn't see a lot at night. That's the thing.
So
these
we
guys-
don't.
Do me an observation. Why not? I make it quite difficult, or relatively difficult for an observation. Just do a 3. Difficulty 3.
A 3.
Yeah.
All of us?
Only the person
I'll
who's
do it.
looking. The rest of you can assist if you say, let's coordinate and all look. You, complication-wise,
Not too bad, but
not too bad.
not enough.
They are warriors. You can't quite see what they look like, and Cryos definitely thinks that. Don't know what you think.
So we don't know that ones from the fortress are the ones that raided the camp.
They might very well be the same, but the people who raided the camp were not wearing armor. These guys are wearing armor.
Yeah. So it could very well be just a different tribe or different kind of people. Yeah.
Okay, so do we try to go through a narrow passage
You need to make
Into
up your mind
a-
because I'm getting bored,
into a
so-
castle? Yeah, because I think that if we go through the narrow, anybody knows if you go through the narrow, it's going to be more difficult. But we can't take the direct approach because there's all those bodies there. So maybe there might be another way around and through.
You may want to come
Yes,
back
but I
later.
don't think there's another way we will find today.
Ah,
So I wonder whether
The
We
quest
can-
really is: do we want to see if we can enter the fortress today, or do we wait the night, see how the guards are changing, and look for a different approach tomorrow?
I think
maybe
we should go in the dark, because we can sneak around and have a look around and see what's going on. In the daytime, it's going to be harder.
I like this idea of the shift change. Maybe we should wait until they change. What do you think?
I mean, it won't hurt. Like, it's not we will. Like, we're not in a hurry. I think.
No.
Okay, I'm good.
Then
So you want to
Yeah.
wait where you currently are, or do you want to get back into the jungle for a moment?
know where we are right now.
Yeah.
So we can see the guards essentially.
All right. So you wait a little while, and then you hear a big horn being blown back from the castle, you reckon. And a little while later, there are some footsteps coming down this tunnel, and people sort of they seem to be greeting each other. You can't quite make out what they're saying. Sounds vaguely Stygian, but only vaguely. And there's a swap of guards, so the 2 people go away and 2 fresh people are sitting there. But they look exactly the same, so I'm not going to change the token.
Okay.
Respect
We
between brothers.
we take the approach we talked about.
Which is?
Draw one of them away while Shira goes round.
Yeah.
I could bow the one that exposes themselves, and then Shira drops down and knifes the other one.
That's the
And
plan.
if you're close to her,
Okay, that's the plan. So, one of you, how do you want to do this? Do you want to stay where you are and throw a stone somewhere else to cause a
No, I'm
ruckus?
gonna try to get around as far as I can.
Mhm.
To get as yeah.
Hmm.
So, are we going directly opposed to each other, like opposite direction, or do you want
You
me
wanna
just
be
like
able
a
to-
quarter of the way?
you want to be able to drop down where the entrance is to stop the last one there from running away and alerting others.
Let's make
Okay.
a little
You
sketch,
need to
shall
be
we?
there.
Yeah.
So that's the top. That's from the top, basically, yeah?
Yep.
And you are currently over there.
Okay, I'm gonna use my stealth.
The tunnel is down there.
Yeah.
So,
Yes,
feel
so
free to
Shira
draw on it.
essentially will try to sneak over here so she can drop behind the 2.
So Shira wants to go where the X is, because that's her first letter.
Does Durzo want to be close by in case you need to drop down and help?
Yeah, the thing is, I'm not very sneaky, so
I'm sneaky.
He's
we will have to
big,
weigh the
burly
risk of
bloke,
me
you know.
joining her.
But essentially, you want them to come to me. We want them to come to me, so we
No,
don't
we
want
want
to.
them towards me.
Yeah.
One starts coming over. Their attention is drawn over towards where I am. As one comes over, I start bowing that one, and then while I start bowing, you then
Jump down.
stealthily drop down behind the other one.
So essentially, so you can get behind and in their blind spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sorry, where are you going to put yourself, Kreis? Ping it.
I'll be over the back, so I might as well stay where I am. There's no need to move.
So you're staying there, and I guess that our good friend Mortas is also staying with you.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can do
No.
that as well.
Just be the one throwing the stone, I guess, on this side of the arena.
That's where you want to place the stone, yeah?
Yep.
Right, so Durzo, you can throw a stone. You don't have to roll dice for that. You've done it before.
Great success.
Shira, yeah. Knowing you would have something like 6 successes, and then basically say, "Oh, look, the whole arena crashes onto the guards, and they're done." Yeah. All right. So you're doing that. Shira, it comes down to your stealth now. Now I'm going to say that it is darkening. Yeah, because we said it was late afternoon. You waited for the shift change, so it's now basically dark. So that makes it easier unless you want to put a torch on.
Nope.
It also makes it slightly trickier because you can't really see where you're going. But okay, still give you a bonus for that. And it's going to be a contested roll against their watchfulness.
Okay.
Their awareness. Yeah? So let's have a roll then. So it's not the difficulty that I set, but the roll of your opponent sets the difficulty. That makes sense.
So I just leave it at difficulty 1.
Yeah, but I give you bonus die because it's pretty dark.
And remember, there's momentum. So
and I'm gonna
be used.
And I'm going to buy another momentum. So I'm just going to add.
Generous, but the momentum.
I'm going to add a d20. I'm going to use my momentum, and hopefully I won't get any 20s.
Right, and I am going to roll against you. Ooh, success is 0.
And you're quite good at it as well.
My
aren't you?
TN is 14, and I've got 3 focus in it.
Yeah, you're better than me. Well, my team, 13.
15, 16, 19 is a nice set of numbers. If you play D&D.
If you play D&D.
If you play D&D,
I'm going to
seeing if I have anything.
Oh, yeah.
And they have 2 successes.
Okay, hold on.
Now he's
Living
pulling out his
Shadow.
talent.
Living Shadow. Okay.
Uh-huh.
You got no successes there.
You are adept when attempting unseen or no. You gain a bonus momentum equal to your rank. So that's 2.
Yes.
And
Shouldn't you spend that before?
But only if you roll a success.
It's if you succeed, isn't it?
yeah, that's what it is. Okay, forget it.
So Shira is starting to move around the top. You haven't thrown your stone yet because you were waiting for it to be in position, right? So Shira started to move around there. I'm just going to use this as a little sort of impromptu way out. Guard is there, and the other one is there. Let's zoom in a bit. So, and as you're halfway around, you put your hand on one of those little, edges, basically. Must have been where people used to put their drinks while they're watching the fights, in front of them. And you just want to sort of push yourself off a little bit, and the whole thing just gives. And this bit of wall falls over the side with an enormous bit of noise. And they immediately said, "Oh, what's that?" you think. By tone of voice, because you don't speak the language. And one of them pulls out a bow and looks at it roughly in your direction. The other one is a bit confused and is looking backwards into the tunnel. Like, should I run away? Should I run away? Now, I know that Kryos and Durzo, you were, of course, watching the whole thing with eagle eyes. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
But they haven't moved yet.
Well, one of them has got his weapon out. The other one is sort of hesitating at the entrance. I know that you are normally very quick to act, so I'm not taking that away from you.
What are we, like, zone-wise? Is this all one zone?
No, he wants another color. Why don't you change color on this game? Can you?
I think I'm going to say to Durzo, whisper to Durzo, I think I'll take the one now who's going to flee. Because if he gets away, he's going to warn castle.
Thirds.
Yeah, roughly. I was just wondering whether I can make a nice smiley out of this. This almost looks like the Isle of Man thing. Or I was going for that. It doesn't work anymore. I'll just do freehand. Roughly like that. And then, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Mohammed from chat says, why don't you just say, excuse me, we're looking for the way to... Not going to work here. Not going to work here.
Is there a toilet here?
So
you have been lost.
Wrong game. So
But essentially, I can get to them in one turn.
you could, as long as you do me a sort of movement. What is it called? Is it movement in this game? Athletics or acrobatics? Because you have to. You also have a height difference.
Yeah.
But you could run towards them.
Yeah, I think I would like to run towards the guy at the door that is kind of thinking about if he should go alert his guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris, you said you will take out the other one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking to take out the person who's about to run to warn the guys, because if you start running towards him, if he starts running, he may get away. So if I take out the one who's going to run, the other guy, if he sees you coming towards him, he may spend it around taking them out, trying to take you out.
Remember,
Do
act
it
quickly. Come on, decide now.
Okay, I'm going to shoot the one who's going to run.
Okay. So you want to go first?
Yeah, I suppose realistically I'm pretty the quickest. So I'll use a bit of momentum. So let me buy a couple of dice purchase. There we go.
Ooh.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Ooh, look at that.
Oh yes. Okay. So damage.
Damage.
Well done.
He's a minion, so you can't even do anything about it.
Oh, okay. Let me re-roll. Do my default re-roll.
You can reroll all of them for the momentum if you spend.
Yeah, I want to give you a bit of momentum, but I also want to use 2 momentum to get a second.
Oh, you just did it with your talent, not with the momentum spend.
Yeah. Okay.
That is
So-
a lot
so
of
that's
damage.
8 damage with 1 arrow, and I want to use 2 momentum to shoot a second time.
Is that the same target?
Yeah. Well,
Is it-
unless I killed him with that blow.
I think death's 1. Yes, you did.
Oh, okay. In that
There was
case,
only one of them.
I'll shoot the archer then with the second shot.
Is that one difficulty harder?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. And as there's so much momentum, so I've got to use 2 momentum to shoot, which I've got 2 more as well. So I need to bank the momentum first.
Yeah, I can bank them first. That's fine.
Bank, and then I'm
See?
going to use 2 momentum.
And we didn't
From
even
what
let you
second
level
shot?
up so much, but you are pretty powerful these days.
Difficulty 2. Why is it only rolled 2 there?
That is
Plenty.
pretty good.
That is pretty good.
That is pretty good. So that is another
and-
hit.
That's not
Move
the hit.
over, Durzo. There's a new king.
Actually, we had so few scenes so far where Christ could actually use his bow. So it's good that he's got a
it's not-
chance.
not
Yeah,
the odd roll. Okay, there we go.
8 damage. 8 damage. So let's see. That is 2 effects as well, piercing, right?
Yep.
Boom, boom. So it takes him 8 vigor. Which means.
But he's still standing.
Let me
Oh, he's a
see.
bit
Let me
tougher.
see. I think. Yes, he's still standing. He's majorly
Okay.
hit. And he goes oomph and drops his own bow and sort of crouches and starts to crawl a little bit along the floor. But he is still alive.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Do you want to do the honors?
I'm a little bit. We're both as close as each other, but if
Yeah.
I can, I'm gonna run over and whip him.
Right. So do me an athletics or acrobatics one. Probably acrobatics for you. To come down there quickly. And if you do, then you can still get within range and attack. Otherwise, it will be next turn. To be honest. I mean, this poor guy doesn't get away anymore.
Of course.
complication.
Of course. Of course.
So you move very quickly, but you drop your whip. So you basically move that far, but you can't attack now with your whip.
Dagger time.
Yeah, dagger time. So since my weapon's dropped, I'm just gonna kind of not even think about it. Grab my daggers, shoot my daggers at him.
We lost someone.
Yeah, Martin is going to come back, I'm sure. He's never far away. Ooh, one success, but he is pretty weakened. He has, however, got a chance because he's not a minion. He's a toughened one. So let's see whether he manages to do anything. He actually manages to dodge you because you just about reached him. He saw you coming, and he sort of rolled over to the side, jumped to the side. You're close to him now, but you haven't actually managed to end him. Okay, so Dazo.
Yeah, I'll do the same. So acrobatics to get down.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, okay. No complication on your side, that's how it's done.
And then, why not?
Why not?
Why not spend it to make it? You gotta spend momentum to make momentum, ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that so goes the saying, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and
that is pretty... Ouch. Yeah, okay. So you managed to slay him as well, but he screams a little bit. Which you can't blame him for 12 damage, when he only has 1 left. You basically sever his right arm as you come down there with that koppesh, and he screams for a moment before he falls down and stops screaming. But you're pretty sure that this has not gone unnoticed entirely.
I was just about to ask before you mentioned the screaming if I, can do a momentum spend to make it quieter, but
okay, so
I guess the cat is out of the bag in this case.
If you spend me 2 momentum, then yeah, okay, then I'll let you do it.
Yeah, I think it's momentum well spent.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
so it's not entirely quiet, but he doesn't scream. How about that?
All right.
Mhm.
Fair enough.
Right, so you now have a couple of these warriors in front of you on the floor, slaughtered mercilessly. You goons, you thugs.
I grab my
that's the
whip.
wrong one. And then, you grab your whip. Do you all come into the arena now?
Head down, myself and.
I would like to take a closer look at the 2 of them to see if they're human and if they have any, if they're in any way, shape, or form different to what I would expect from humans on an island.
Right. They're a bit smaller than you are because you're a big hulking brute. But they actually do look a little bit Stygian to you. There's just something about the shape of the face and maybe the shape of the eyes, which is a bit unusual. Almost a little serpentine, I would say.
Snake
Like
people.
more slanted eyes and sort of a slightly pointier chin than you have.
Do they have helmets or anything that kind of cover their chin or cover the front of their face?
The guard cap, or the guard sergeant, the mostly armless guy now, he had a helmet on, but it doesn't really close him entirely, and you can take that off and have a look, as you said.
Because I have a kind of a Kittian look with my eyes.
You're trying to pretend to be that.
And so, I was thinking that maybe I could put on his, because I would be smaller, and so I could put on as much of the uniform as possible.
Yeah, good idea.
And
You could do that. Yeah, you could try that. You are different
Especially,
They're not
Curious
bad.
has this.
I am a master of disguise. Can I help Shira
Yeah.
make her look perfect?
Then
It's
do we?
binding. I've heard about binding.
That's for the feet, isn't it?
Uh,
Upper torso.
Oh, is that what you meant? Right.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yes, yes.
Ah,
Kind
I
of.
see.
master of disguise. I need to use stealth. So should I do a stealth roll just to see how good it looks? There we go. There we go.
Ooh,
It looks
You're
very good.
fantastic.
Very good. Very good. Now,
In fact,
don't bank
I'm
that.
tempted to shoot you.
Don't bank that. That's basically for me is the level of difficulty.
Yeah,
now,
that's fine. I won't bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. So you're trying to dress up, and then what do you want to do? Do you want to have a peek in the tunnel?
Yeah. But I'd like to move stealthily
Yeah, if you take the lead.
so that I can get a look at what we're up against on the other side. And I'll try to get as much of a look as possible. So I'll try to go as far in, knowing kind of like using my logic to say, okay, this is how far they went in before.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe just go in a little bit further so that I can see inside the castle, as it were.
Right. The whole place is relatively dark, but in this connecting tunnel, essentially, there are a couple of oil lamps on the side.
Okay.
So you get a little bit of a view. Let's see. What can you see? Oh, I keep closing this rather than opening my journal. So pop it out and I click it again. No, anyway, so
Do you want stealth? Observation?
stealth. Let's do first of all a stealth because you want to be stealthy.
Difficulty?
Let me have what you have, and then I can see whether I can spot you against that. One success. So far there's nobody to spot you yet, but there might be soon. So try and remember that one, yeah? Just like the 3 for the disguising. Okay, so you look into this tunnel, and it looks reasonably well maintained actually. And you can just see that there's an iron gate at the front where you are. It's closed. You don't know whether it's locked. It's just a few steps in, like under the surround wall, basically, of the arena. Roughly in line with that, there's a metal grate, and then you can see the tunnel continue behind that for another 20 meters or so. That's 60 feet for those who... we don't have our feet people here today, do we? Cries no meters.
No. Speak meters.
We have JR here, and he doesn't...
I do either.
No freedom units tonight.
Okay, so when we were going through this, the individuals, were there a set of keys? Because we automatically would have taken those.
Yeah,
Automatically,
actually, there would be a set of keys. Yeah, fair enough.
And this was a kind of sergeant type of person, so I would imagine
Exactly.
he'd be the key keeper. If I see a lock, I will try to open it.
There's
We
definitely
need
a
to
lock.
be marking the lock keeper.
Are we staying behind while you investigate the tunnel?
I don't know if you followed me, but my intention was to kind of sneak in and kind of take a look.
I'm with you on this one.
You're with me?
No, I'm with you on us staying behind.
on the thought. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Creeping up behind.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to push my luck and go a little bit further to see if I have any oil or anything like that from, say, like a lamp that I could possibly, how there could be creaking.
All right. So you want to
So I'd like to put something, to grease the door as much as possible. And I would have thought about that kind of once I looked at it. I'd grab a rag or part of his cape or something, and I'd kind of dip it in and then try to safely. Don't do this at home, kids.
What, murder people?
This is only make believe. This is only make believe. Yeah, don't be dipping your cloth inside the oil lamp. It's dangerous.
I don't. When the lamp is lit, yes.
When the lamp is lit.
Yeah. Otherwise, you would be quite safe. But anyway, don't do any of what we do here at home, including rolling dice and
so
stuff.
What do you want me to roll?
You just want to open the door. You have the key.
Yeah, I just want to.
So the only thing you want to do is make it a bit quieter.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I give you that
Stealth.
for free because I like the idea. You don't have to roll for that. Because you just, I'm going to earn my momentum. And then I have to battle that again. No.
I like my power close enough.
I'll take
if
it.
Something happens.
Okay, so I go in, and I go in as far as I think is reasonable, without me getting caught. And if anybody does see me, my attitude will just be to kind of nod my head, or anything that I saw before, we observed before, in the way that they greeted one another when they talked, and just go back. So as soon as I see someone, I would just immediately head back.
The tunnel continues for 10 meters, let's say 15 meters. And then it opens up. Like you have come through the mountains built into or something. And then you see essentially a walkway, like almost like a drawbridge, to a big wall of this fortress that you've seen earlier. And in that is a big wooden gate. And a couple of watchtowers at the top. And you do see, if you probably don't want to step out of the tunnel.
No.
You're staying within, yeah? But you do see a couple of guards being positioned up there. One of the watchtowers is pretty much in the center of the whole thing, seems to be very high and be able to look all the way. But there's also a couple of watchtowers and light flickering behind the windows on your side of the castle, of that fortress.
Mm-hmm.
But
So-
this is quite forbidding. I mean, this is a big gate and very high wall, and it's well guarded. So
So I know that the gate in front of me, there's like a drawbridge, or there's a gate, like a portcullis.
there's a proper wooden gate. There might be portcullis behind it, but there's a proper
Okay.
wooden gate.
And then, and you're also saying that above me, there is possibly two people. The flickering lights may indicate that there could be people above.
yeah, you're right.
Possibly. Okay, so I'm going to head back. Is there anything else that I observe that might be outside of the normal?
Oh, you hear some distant singing
It from the castle itself?
from the castle or fortress, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
Itself. You hear some distant singing, and it's instruments being played.
We heard instruments when we were in our first experience of the eye. There was music going on.
Yeah.
I would have thought about the
This is
about that image,
10 episodes
and maybe
ago for anybody who wants to go and check it.
I would have heard the way the music sounded, because I would be very attuned to kind of the instrumentation and stuff. So is it the same type of instruments? Maybe it's not a dirge, but if they're happy, at least they may be using the same type of instruments.
Okay. You reckon that those instruments sound quite Stygian to you?
Okay.
And they did back then.
And
So
it sounds
yes.
like merriment or mourning.
It definitely sounds merrier than last time. Because last time was a funeral.
Does it sound like a lot of voices singing?
No. Maybe 2 or 3, maybe maximum, yeah.
Does it sound like it's just guards kind of having a good time, or?
You know, that sounds better singing than most guards people. So either they are members of the guards choir, or maybe there's some proper entertainment going on.
Ah.
So it might not just be fortress, there might be a palace or something.
Okay, so can I just wait there until the song's over and hear if there's clapping?
Right. What's the sound of one hand clapping? Yeah, you can. You can hang about, absolutely. And you do hear some cheering after the song is over, yeah. Some cheering and
So,
clapping.
a lot?
Very hard, because it's just on the edge of your hearing. A lot. It's not like a stadium. It's not like somebody's playing Wembley
Okay.
and everybody cheers. But
Okay, all right.
you reckon there is, I don't know, at least a dozen people there.
Okay. And the last question is, in terms of my draw to the eye,
Yeah.
Because
still
I
in that
probably
direction.
I've had it the longest, so it's
You
still in
have.
that direction.
It's still in
I
that
head
direction.
back. I head back and I
You
tell
are
everybody
precious.
what I've seen, so
Yeah,
they now
this is
know
your tether to
everything.
the artifact. Essentially, you can sense where it is.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what were those two guards guarding?
They're just watching, maybe.
If,
just
just
there's
watching.
only a way that leads to
Hmm,
notification that would make. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm going for. Like
Yeah.
there's a moat, a drawbridge, a gate, watchtowers. Why do you put two people?
There's some
in
threat.
the arena? So
They must believe that there's a threat coming.
yeah.
or they don't want it occupied by someone else.
Oh, they were waiting.
Maybe
for the
because they have the
message.
Hmm.
Can
maybe
I?
because they have the eye.
Now that we have cleared the tunnel, I would like to inspect the walls if there are any secret passageways
You
of
mean
some
within
sort.
the tunnel?
within
Oh.
the tunnel. Yeah,
You
it's
go
because
up and
essentially
down.
what I'm thinking is there's like
Search
the main
secret
entrance of
doors.
the fortress and guards further down the line. So if there's nothing in between, there's no reason for the guards to be there. So thinking back about it, there has to be
Do
something.
me an observation.
Oh boy, I'm not good at those.
The light is
Can
a
I
bit
help him?
poor, so
I
I
take
will
all
not
the
tell you
help I
what
can
the
get.
difficulty is because I want to have it secret. Whether
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have it. So,
I lose my eyesight.
no, you don't.
Into your own hand.
You look around. You tap here, you tap there, but you don't find anything. I'm not even going to charge you for that complication. Because
That's how bad it
No,
was.
no charge.
No charge. That's actually, I have recently spent some doom. Actually, let's refill it to 13. 13 is a good number to do.
Okay, so I have an idea. Maybe our only way of getting in relatively easy is if I use what was he using? A Kopesh, or what was the guard using? What was his weapon?
bow.
He had a short sword.
Okay, so
No,
I'm going to propose to my two compatriots that if I have them both kind of loosely bound with whatever either of them had in terms of a rope, like the guards, and then I have my sword and I indicate that I want to bring them through
Hmm.
to the two guards in front, then that would be our way to go this way, unless we want to just completely get out of here and go around and try from outside. Like try
It would be
to go a
hard to
different
get
way
in
in.
because it's so high, isn't it? So you want to try to guard there and try to get them to open the gate to let you in.
With you as my prisoners,
As a pretend prisoners.
as pretend
Ocean
prisoners.
horse.
Is there any chance we could sneak up to the gates without being seen, and therefore when you get them to open the gates, we're already there?
Now, if there's anybody watching that, there's no way you can sneak past it. The only
Even
way
in
is
the dark.
Yeah,
in-
that's
even in the dark. Yeah, because
That's why I
there's
think
some
that
light
this
at
is-
the exit of the tunnel, etc. There's a little bit of moonlight. If somebody's actually watching the approach, there's no chance you can see it. You can sneak it. However, you can be lucky, and there might not be anybody watching.
but
Can I just?
I would imagine that I'd be crossing with a torch, maybe not.
maybe.
Can I use my scouting ability, which allows me to obtain information momentum?
Yes, you can.
In case there's something else we're not seeing, and you can tell us.
I can tell you something, indeed. But remember, you remember how this is written, yeah? Remember some of the things we've come into before, right? Just as a little bit of background. I mean, everything we've just done is completely and utterly. Oh, he's got the rule book there. I was showing the scenario.
So essentially, what you're saying is the adventure is entirely overwritten, and we are completely overthinking it.
You are to an extent overthinking it, but there's also, I can show you my notes, but there's a list of things you're supposed to be doing.
And we're not doing any of them.
And
Before
we're
you've
ignoring
done,
it.
these, or these are the scenes I've played out before anything else happens. And we're trying to jump here. So, which I'm happy to do. It just means I would have to really recheck what we're doing if this is successful. But I don't want to just say no. So
Okay.
give
I
it a
need to do an observation check.
go. Do that.
And
Oh, not with these rolls. We're not going to sneak across.
forget what I
I'll tell you
mentioned.
this. I'll tell you this. You look at this place and you think, this is ancient, but it's well kept and it's very well defended, or very defensible. Anyway, if anybody looks out of there, there's basically not a chance. Yeah, and you know very little about these people. So play acting to be one of them and say, open the gate, we bring the prisoners.
Mhm.
Might work, but it's a risk.
But there could be a secret. Everywhere has a kind of secret entrance in, doesn't it? In case someone has to escape the place. And we haven't really searched around, other than the two. And
Well, this is
maybe
at
there
least the
was one there.
second one. Yeah, because you know that there's a main gate, and then this seems to be sort of a back gate. Maybe that's their escape hatch, escape path. But what you haven't found is whether there's another exit from this arena to the jungle.
That's
Because otherwise
true.
it would be dead end, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, up to you.
I mean, we could go for the prisoner strategy. Like, I actually, because of an error of my own, know ancient Stygian, which is what I think those people are, speaking. So I could get the second uniform, and because it would match up with the two guards. And I guess from the height and in the dark, the height difference isn't as notable.
You could squat.
The thing is,
Walk on your knees.
once they open the gate, what are we gonna do then? Because as soon as
Kill
they open-
everyone.
Charge in and kill everyone, yeah.
works for me. Let's go.
We'll follow Durzo.
I just think that.
He'll carve his way through them.
Into the
Okay, so I have an idea. Can you re-describe the pit? Because I remember there was something particular about the pit.
You mean this arena?
Yes, but there was something in the center that was a pit.
Yeah. The picture doesn't 100% match it, yeah? As I
No.
discussed last time
Yeah.
with you guys, because the picture is mid-journey, and the scenario is quite complicated. So, it's called the the Theater of Death, in case you're wondering. So, adjacent and connected to the fortress is an amphitheater.
Mhm.
Skip, skip, skip. You don't know this, you don't know this. Formed like a great bowl with high sides, the pit is around 50 feet across. Steep walls at the base, nearly 15 feet high. Heavy wooden gates lead from the interior into chambers beneath the seating. So that's something that you haven't explored yet.
But we
Which surrounds
figured
the
as
arena.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a couple of metal rings set into the stone blocks, flush with the ground. They're spaced regularly.
Mhm.
Maybe they secured some beasts or some people and tied them down for more challenging battles, something like that. There used to be sort of galleries which were covered with like sunshades and curtains and so on, but that basically is all rotted away. You just see remnants of that. And there's a fair bit of creepy crawlies around. Like insects and stuff. The one
we want-
exterior entry into the theater. No, it's not exterior. That's to the castle. Which
So
is-
do we want to try to see underneath and see if there's a way that just goes straight over? Because
straight over.
it's straight over to the fortress.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Korea's?
It's possible there could be
Durzo?
some sort of secret passage, yeah. Makes sense, but
Because
Does
we
that
can
could be
always
why
go
they're
back
guarding
up
it?
and try it.
yeah, there's no harm in trying.
yeah.
Yeah. So have a thorough investigation of all the areas to see if anything moves, if there's any secret passageways, if any we can pull anything up because there's a secret trapdoor.
Sorry, I'm just smirking at somebody's comment in the chat. I shouldn't like. It's too distracting. But they just
I'm not even. I don't even
Yeah,
have chat
you
on.
don't
I
have
don't
chat.
know
It's
what
just-
is going on.
There's a discussion just about overthinking stuff. That's all.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's not criticism of you. This player basically says that they spent 3 sessions planning for one shot. Like, what should we be doing? Should we be doing this? Should we be doing that? Sounds a bit like Shadowrun.
We should just do it.
Isn't it?
It's like a lot of games, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you remember when we played Coriolis? You were there?
Yeah,
Mark?
I played a lot of that with
We
you.
wrote on the big whiteboard, and he started sketching out everything, like the time gun charts, and say, if you need to rescue these people, you need to do this then. And that was great. I think most people had fun.
As players, you love doing that type of thing sometimes, yeah?
Yeah,
We're playing Conan like we're playing D&D. That's our problem.
Yeah, don't do that. So where were we? You want to know?
Pure hatred for D&D in this man.
No, it's not hatred. It's just,
It's just
You helped me create a D&D map, Frankie did.
yeah. See. Anyway,
so we go down. So we go downstairs.
You go downstairs. You go back into the arena, and you start looking at these cubby holes. Yeah. So, I will say this: you can do observations. Now, if you want to stick together, you can assist, and I'll let you roll together. It is relatively dark there. Now, you don't have any torches as far as I'm aware. You made some,
but we
you
have
haven't lit them.
the oil lamp from the tunnel.
Yeah, but they are sort of attached. You could, I think you had some torches.
We
You
did.
made some, yeah? In one of the
Yeah.
previous episodes when you were down on the beach, you made some torches. So
You
you
did,
can light
yeah.
them, but moving torches around. there's a
Did
certain
the
risk.
guards not have lights?
No, just a couple of oil lamps at the end of the tunnel.
Okay.
I'm pretty
Well,
good at observation, but so are you, Krios, aren't you?
Yeah, we're both probably quite good at it, aren't we?
There's a
Yeah.
stand in the
Yeah.
entranceway to the tunnel and not let anybody.
I give,
and
assistance.
you have more tasks.
Why don't we split into two groups? Durzo helps, say you, Shira, and Moataz helps me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it feels like that's a better chance of success than
Right. So Mortas helps whom?
me.
So I'm going to just.
You also
roll-
have to keep in mind we only have time until the next watch change.
Yes.
Because then they will notice
Yeah.
that two of the guys are
So
missing.
Mortas's observation roll to help you out is 19 and a 20. So he's not going to be much help.
No. So let me roll my roll then. Okay.
You've got 2.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And the other team?
So you started off.
I have to quickly now think about how can I connect the threads of the story so we get somewhere with this. Right, 1.
Oh.
3. Okay, we have a 2 and a 3. So Krios and Mortas, you poke around for a while and you don't find a lot. You find some old metal poles or something, and you reckon that there must have been a cage, maybe with a beast in it or something, in one of these cubby holes. But there's basically very, very little of use unless you wanted to wrench some metal away and use it for something. However, the other 2, you poke around for a while when Shira thinks that crevice back there, that's not just a shadow cast. There seems to be actually a little narrow pass through, and you poke in there. Maybe use your torch for this. And you see that there's a narrow path, a narrow corridor going downstairs. Yeah, would have to squeeze through it. So it's not, even for a big guy like Durzo, it would be quite tricky to get through, but it's possible. And there seems to be almost like a narrow stairway going down there. Like this used to be a hidden stairway somewhere at some point, but the entrance is broken. But once you pass there, you reckon you can move down this little stairway.
Okay. So
Perfect.
I do that.
I guess do you crowd them, get everybody together first? Or do
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just explore
yeah,
first?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you follow this down, and it is a bit tricky, and there's like dripping water everywhere, and it smells a bit bad and so on. But this path goes down, a couple of steps here, a couple of corners there, and then you all of a sudden you see the exit. There's an exit in front of you, just a huge bit of plant in front of it. But you can push it to the side, and you're on the outside of this ring wall of the arena.
And what is on the other side? Directly ahead of me. What am I seeing?
Directly ahead of you, you just see a little bit of a clear area, and there's a little stream, and then there's a jungle again.
So essentially, we just found the exit of the arena.
There seems to be, well hidden, and you think actually deliberately camouflaged from the outside, entranceway. Like this is a secret passage.
Is there a path in front of
Right.
us.
No, it is now quite dark. And you have your torch on, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. What do we do for tracking? Survival, isn't it?
Mm.
I have a tracking talent.
Cries, you know that Cries is good for this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
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 So when attempting a survival test to track a creature or group of creatures, you may reduce the difficulty by 1 step for
Okay.
whatever rank in track alcohol rank.
I would say that this is difficulty 3.
Okay, so I turn it into a difficulty
You turn
2
into
then,
2,
yeah?
which makes it quite manageable, hopefully.
And it's a survival check. So my survival is not too bad.
Not too bad. How many 20s this time?
Yeah.
There we go. You think that definitely somebody has come past here.
Oh.
With shod shoes, with shoes rather than just feet, yeah?
Mhm.
And size-wise, about the same size as you guys.
Oh, in which way?
They have been in and out of here a couple of times.
Just real quick to the path to the arena. Is that the only path to that particular gate, or is there another?
That's the only path.
Okay.
It's not a dedicated bridge. Now, if I briefly... Can you see it on the map? No, not especially because your name is now in front of it. It's very hard to see on the map. But if you briefly hop back on the map, let me show you. That's the only official thing I've got here. Can you see that sort of connection between the gate where you're standing? Like
Yes.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
both of them are sort of on these outcroppings.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this sort of ridge connecting them. That was the bridge I was describing, the tunnel in the bridge. You can see that.
Are these? You had described before tonight that there were shoes that we had seen before, shoe prints,
He remembers everything, doesn't he?
and so I'm
Nope.
wondering if they are similar, if not the same, because I remember I was looking, or possibly Cryas were looking.
Cryas can spend me momentum, and I might tell him a bit more. Because he didn't have extra momentum from this, just as much as I wanted. He actually has 1 momentum if he spends that.
I needed 2 successes.
Oh,
It was a D2,
okay.
so we've got the 2 momentum in the pool though. So.
Yeah, you can spend
Yeah,
one
yeah.
in the pool.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a bit more.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, yeah, go for it. There you go.
That's my way of draining your momentum.
I do
dangling
have
something in front
perfect
of you.
memory as well. Yeah,
Of
I have a
course you do.
talent, perfect memory.
Of course you do.
He has a talent for perfect.
That's a talent for that. So you think that those are very much like the typical shoes or boots that people on board of your ship will have worn. Thanks for that.
Okay.
So it's not unusual. This is not unusual footwear. This is not the island stuff like sandals or whatever they were wearing
Mhm.
previously. This is actually proper boots.
But
Oh, I
it's
just
somebody
see-
coming in and
We
out.
must
In and
be
out.
playing for a little while because we'll have an ad break in 55 seconds.
Oh boy.
So
I mean,
in the
it stands to
meantime-
assume if they spend this much effort to camouflage and hide this secret exit to the arena, they will have one of those for the main building or for the main fortress. And now we know what to look for.
You're assuming a lot. So, the question is, what do you do with this information? Do you now wait until somebody comes here? Do you try to follow the tracks? What do you do?
I say follow the tracks.
Yeah, follow the tracks.
Follow the tracks. Now, for those who are watching
Should
on
we hide the
Twitch,
corpses first if we leave the area?
hang on, just very briefly. For those who are watching on Twitch, you might have to sit through 30 seconds of ads in about 8 seconds. If you watch on YouTube, I don't think you have that problem. Anyway. So, what do you want to do? You want to hide something. Oh,
Yeah.
that was already the ad break. They're back. So, in the meantime, they found something.
So they don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on either. So, as usual. So, we found this entrance.
People just using a head block.
So,
So we hide and wait, or we. When you say it's regularly coming to and fro, do I have a judge on how regular? Yeah, or how recent is the most recent track? Are we talking about?
you think
Hours.
it's quite fresh. You think you arrived here a few hours ago by now, probably, I don't know, 6 hours ago, 5 hours ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Not long before that.
Okay, let's
They
head
all
out.
they
Let's
all
go.
look relatively recent. All those tracks.
Yeah.
Can we decipher if there are more tracks, like more recent tracks going out than going in? As in, can we decide if there's still a patrol out?
You know, you think this is one individual going in and out.
As in, like, not me, but Cryos.
Yeah, nice. As a group, you as a generic you. So let's see. Yeah. You are now standing there in front of the gate with the torch on, right? So you're quite noticeable.
We put out the torch.
After you looked at the tracks, maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, we are trying to be stealthy, so we would have realized that we're sitting ducks.
Okay. Now, Chris,
Too little, too
you have a
late.
guess that direction where this is going. You have a
Okay.
reasonable good assumption or grasp where this person went to.
Okay. I think because it's through the jungle, it's going to be easier to follow because they've probably knocked down bushes, trees, cut their way through. So I think we should just give it a follow. Yeah. We can always come back if we don't find anything.
Yeah. It is now pretty dark, though. So you can move along that path a little, but you may want to rest at some point.
Yeah, I wonder whether if we're going to rest there, we probably want to. Where do we want to rest? Because sleeping in the jungle is probably not going to be too pleasant. Do we go back along that secret trail and then just sleep along there, where there's shelter?
Up to you.
Yeah, before we leave, though, I will get the two corpses from the arena and just hide them somewhere in the bushes. Maybe try to, mask the bloodstains.
Bushes, or do you just want to hide them in some of those side rooms, essentially?
No. I want to, basically drag them outside.
That's going to be quite a bit of work.
That's okay.
That's okay. Right. Okay. Now I'm going to fast forward this a bit because we've been in this arena for a long time. An hour and a bit, not quite.
We don't want Motas to miss too much stuff.
50 minutes, 60 minutes. Yeah, about an hour, I reckon. So, you make your way back out where you originally came from and find a spot to rest. That's what you're aiming to do, right? Okay, now you're going to put up a guard?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, we'll have to share the guard.
Probably shared.
Yeah.
So, one of the guards, you hear somebody coming a little bit towards you because they holler, they shout out to you. Now, let me just find where this is. Here it is. One of my little things on my tick list, you see? Make sure the story gels together at the end. Can you hear somebody actually, a voice saying, "Drop your weapons."
In Stygian?
Stygian maybe. You speak, those who speak Stygian, right?
Yeah.
But it's accented. It sounds a bit Kushite to you.
I'll kick my compatriots awake and not drop my weapon.
I'm still disguised.
Yes, you are. You can sleep in your disguise. A bit uncomfortable, but you can sleep in it.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah.
But yeah, you just hear that. "We have you surrounded," he says. "Don't try anything funny. Come on.
Show yourselves."
You make sure you put down your weapons right now. We've got bows trained on you."
I don't believe you. I only hear one.
You hear from the other side.
Okay, there are two. That's not. I like those odds.
Come on.
Are the other twos awake now?
Yeah, they're coming round. Disturbed sleep. and all that.
In this case, I will storm towards the first voice I heard.
Okay, do me a challenging observation test, difficulty 2, to see whether you storm off in the right direction or whether you look rather foolish.
Right. Use the momentum we have.
And the complication.
Oh, very good.
So you run off, but you think even to the right direction. So you know where it is, but you think that there's only one of them there. And there's probably some other people hiding somewhere else. So you're a bit insecure exactly where you are. Do you still want to run?
Yeah, but I made contact with the one that was talking, or which...
You're pretty sure you pinpointed where he is.
Yeah.
But you're running towards him. I mean, the complication was on the awareness. It wasn't on a running test, you know?
Yeah.
So otherwise you would have just face planted.
Classic.
Classic, indeed. So I can't just say that because it's the wrong thing. So I need to make something tricky about the observation. So you think there are probably several people around him.
No, I would definitely keep moving.
You're that sort of
Especially
brave, aren't
given
you?
the threat of both. So, moving target is a... Yeah.
Okay. Am I up?
Yeah, you can be up. What do you want to do?
I am going to be naturally charming, and I'm going to
Look at me, that's hopeless.
no, I'm not even going to use words because I don't think that I can fake even an accent. I'm just going to kind of use smiling eyes. I'm going to smize, and I'm going to and I'm just going to kind of use my force of presence. I'm going to use my charming nature and that warm personality and winning smile. People will trust me, and on a successful persuade test, I will get 1 bonus momentum per rank of naturally charming, which is 2.
Great stuff.
Which is
but
2.
Just keep in mind, it is dark, relatively dark. You
Yeah.
haven't got a fire.
Those smiling eyes, they can't see him.
They can't see your smiles or whatever you call them, smiling eyes. You don't even know where they are in the bush.
No, I'm just going to stand up and look charming.
Charm.
I mean, the real
I'm just going to
question
charm them. So,
So let's do this, but
so-
if you want to roll it, it's going to be difficulty 4.
just
They're
really
actually
quick
in
before
forest.
that, like this patrol, they didn't have torches or anything.
You didn't see them at all. There was no
Then
light.
how the fuck did they find us?
yeah.
They tracked us below.
So,
Maybe they can see in the dark. Maybe they sniffed you.
maybe they did. All right,
So-
so my skill for this is persuade.
Yes, go and do
And
this.
so
and
you said it's a difficulty 4.
4. Normally it's 1, but with those
No
complicating
momentum.
factors.
And we have no momentum.
No, but you
Oh,
can
wow.
do.
You got fortune, maybe.
Uh,
So that doesn't
It's still
replenish
in
too
the same
quickly.
act. Hasn't replenished yet.
yeah,
And at
but
this
we
speed,
have not.
you're
I have no
moving.
fortune. I have no
Oh, do
fortune.
you?
None?
Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh, no. 4 successes.
There you go. Easy.
I am schmizing.
So you look charming and helpless. All right. What does Cryas do? Not helpless, but charming and
And I'm dressed like one of them. We
appealing.
think. Appealing.
Okay, Cryas.
So
Good.
You look at Sheila in
Durzo
amazement,
charged
that's
off
it.
in one direction. Yeah.
Yes.
Shiva's trying putting the charm on.
Yes.
I'm going to just quietly pick up my bow, and I'm going to try to. I'm working on the basis that Shiva's created a distraction, and I'm going to just slink into the jungle. Yeah.
Okay, what shall we do?
Read my
Make that
mind.
a stealth. Make that a stealth. And tell me how much you've got. That's not enough.
Oh.
That's not enough.
No.
You slink
That's-
off, but you don't think you found a very good hiding spot. Now, here's what we're going to do. Durzo breaks through this bush in front of him, and you see just in this sort of glint of a bit of moonlight, because there's no other light, you see this big hulking guy in front of you. And for a moment, you think you recognize him. You think this is one of the rowing slaves.
That's why the Kushite accent.
And they look at you. He looks at you with wide eyes. You can just about see them gleaming in the sunlight. And he sort of scrambles away from you as two other burly guys, another two rowing slaves, step from either side with big clubs. Actually, one has a club, one has a big hammer. And say, drop it right there.
Yeah. Why would I do that? I know you guys. We were friends on that boat. Like, what's the hostility?
He looks at you. You were on the boat, weren't you?
Yeah, it was.
We couldn't see you properly, and there was one of you who looked a bit different. Sort of wearing an armor or something, like these creepy guys who were killing us at night.
Yeah, that was not us. We came to your aid at that night.
But
in that
one
night.
of you looks like them.
You mean back in the camp? Yeah, that's a
Yes.
disguise.
Yeah.
Right.
One of
You
us.
can do me a charming roll, a persuade roll.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Go on, Durzo. I need to find your weak spot at some point.
What? Persuade.
Persuade. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet he's got nothing.
I'm not that bad. Yeah.
Ah, that's awesome. That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
another of these big burly guys actually steps onto the clearing, pretty much directly next to the bush where Cryos is, with a spear, and holds the spear into the bush and say, "Come on out, come on out." While looking over his
I'll
shoulder,
cautiously
smiling at Shira.
climb to my feet. It's okay. I mean no harm.
Move to the
It's
middle.
fine.
Move next to that
I'm
one.
just
What was that?
Move next to that one, I said. Doesn't understand my question.
Okay, I'll move next to that one then.
Shira.
I'll move next to Shiva.
And then they all come back together.
I'm gonna take off my hat, my helmet.
So there are 3 of them.
In total, there are 4 of them, actually.
4, okay.
4 of them. And now they see you. They look at Shira in the sort of slightly smitten way. I thought I recognized the way you moved, but with that get-up, we thought you were one of those beasts.
Thank you.
Come. You can come to our camp.
Yeah, what are you doing out here?
We have been raided. Our camp has been raided a few times. We're trying to track these people who will keep attacking us. But if you want, come.
Who's raiding you as we're walking? Who's raiding you? Is it the guards or is it
We don't know.
or is it the ones without? Oh,
People just disappear, but some of them look like... Points at you, this guys. Like that.
Yeah, they have a fortress up the hill.
Yes.
Oh.
We worked that out. Thank you.
Yeah, we can't get in there.
Did you also
Work
work a way out to get into said fortress?
Not yet. We were trying to, but we are fed
Okay.
up of all these attacks. We have a camp.
have you been inside? Have you been inside the circular arena?
No, we couldn't find a way in.
Ah,
We did.
You follow them along. After a little while, it goes down to the water again. You're almost by the beach again. You see a little fire there in a sheltered cove. And there are a couple more, 5, 6 other people there amongst the rocks and the logs sitting around there or sleeping. Some of them are sleeping, of course, it's middle of the night. A couple of Kushites, a couple of Shemites. And amongst them, none other than Gal Arvat. Remember who he is?
Yeah.
Our pirate captain.
Because you were missing, didn't we?
This is not the camp that we established.
I was gonna say, are any of
It's a
them
different
familiar
one.
to us in terms of the
Maybe.
ones that we've run
Yeah.
into before?
Yeah, why
Because
not?
we did point them in the direction of
Yeah.
our camp
Maybe a
and say,
couple of people who were behind there. Like,
Okay.
there were, I think, 2 Kushites there, were there? Who you
Yeah,
helped.
yeah.
Yes.
But
Mo
pirates,
said
not
that
the rowing slaves.
Yeah, Kushites could be either. I've got a couple of Kushite pirates here as well, so it's fine. They sort of recognize you as well, and then you join them at the water, at the fire. You actually get a bit of a meal because they've been fishing.
Yay.
Some fish stew you can have. And Garlavat gets woken up, and it's pretty late, but this seems to be important. And he looks at you and says, "Oh, so you survived as well." Let me just see. What can
we
find
thought you'd gone down. You were missing when we were washed ashore.
Oh, well, something dragged me, you know. This is our pirate captain, if you remember.
Yeah.
Something dragged me underwater, and I came around on the beach, and something else was frisking me. They were stealing my stuff, you know that gem. They were taking it away, these strange beings, but I couldn't do anything. I was coughing and spluttering salt water. I had to pick out the seaweed from my teeth. But since then, they have been raiding us here. We've been trying to defend ourselves and find out where they're coming from. We found quite a few of our compatriots here dead, our companions. Some of them were abducted as well. Well, maybe we just didn't find them.
You think they came from their castle? We'd just been up there. We couldn't quite get in there. Too well guarded.
Too well guarded, you say?
Yeah.
Can
Unless
we
you can
avoid
lure
it?
them out in some way.
What I would really love to do is get away from this stupid island.
Yeah, but
We need to go into the fortress.
But why?
There is something there that belongs to us.
think of all the treasure that may be in there as well.
And riches.
If there's any of the pirate treasure left, it's in that fortress.
I'm starting to doubt that there's any treasure on here. Or any treasure worth doing. But I guess if we're here anyway, we might as well steal it, right?
Exactly.
Yes. What's their situation in terms of their weapons? Are they all sticks and...
They have found a couple. Like Karl Albert has
Okay.
got a saber on him, or scimitar, whatever you want to call it. Cutlass. Cutlass, that's the right word for it.
Okay, so maybe... is it still dark? No?
It is dark.
Yeah.
But
So
we can fast forward a little bit because you did sleep a bit, so we can just say the morning light is coming. The sun is coming up on the eastern horizon. Yeah?
because I was going to say that maybe perhaps what we could do is go back to where we came from and then move across, but that might be too obvious now, obviously in the daytime. So maybe we need to go around and find an alternative way in.
So I'm getting confused. Back to where you came
Oh,
from.
well, back to the arena, but it's daytime. So, but we need to find a way into the castle or fortress, whatever it is.
Okay.
Maybe there's another way in.
And
Garland
also-
looks at you with big eyes and say, "You really want to go into the hornet's nest, then, do you?"
Oh, yes. I'm very convincing, too. There, and we described the tracks and the fact that there's one person going in and out. And obviously that person must be the person who's going and taking your stuff.
No, there's more than one. When they've
I
attacked us,
remember
they came in
in
groups
the,
of fives
the
and sixes.
first, second night on the island, there was the raid on the neighboring camp, and there were a shit ton of people. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Large group of them.
At
Yeah.
least a dozen.
But it was different group.
That we think, yeah, but we don't know. Could be the same.
You know, we think that some of them, there's another party on this island, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We saw, you know, that pirate ship that attacked us, the Bahari. We saw them
think
cruise
it's
up,
that too?
and some of their corsairs were waiting ashore. They are around here somewhere, and they definitely didn't like us on the water, did they? Maybe they're after us as well.
But they've got a boat that we could take.
Yes, I was thinking that. It's somewhere off the eastern coast in the cove. It's an intact boat.
But we are on the eastern cove shore,
Yeah.
aren't we?
Yeah, you are.
Mind throwing on the island map real quick?
Well, I've got it on, but you're not on it. You should be able to hop across, but if not, I can pull you across.
There it is. Okay.
So, it sort of points past this. You can't see that, can you?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm pinging you past
Yeah,
the headland.
I see it.
Past the headland. He reckons they're somewhere there.
So essentially, we have. G was the cave with all the mummies.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were there.
E was this Deep Cup Valley coming in. A is where you landed.
Yeah.
So over here is where we thought initially before we got distracted by the group there, but we were thinking of going across
The forest.
through the woods to get to the fortress.
Yeah, that's where you first saw the fortress when you were about there.
It was with the
Yeah.
fishing
Nice.
baskets and stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
All
Yeah.
the baskets hanging up in there.
I think our best bet is to try to go around the outside, try to get as close as possible. And the question is, do we go with everybody, or do we go and have them create a distraction as we do something else?
Just for those
I'm
watching the stream.
not opposed
look at
to
how
the
big
idea
island is.
Of first securing a boat. Like
The ship.
if Gar Albert says the other part, pirates still have a working boat, I think it should have priority, because without that boat, nobody gets off the island, and thus the consequences of the whole amulet thing are none.
Yeah.
They're stuck
yeah.
here. Also,
We
we are
got two things to do, haven't we?
not so
Yeah.
nice.
Okay, let me see. I can take this one off now.
Okay, so
Let's do a
Shira-
180 here.
Shira is completely obsessed with getting
Already.
this eye. Yeah.
Yes.
Very obsessed about getting the eye and figuring out who this person is with the shoes, because we didn't determine whether or not it was a female or male.
Oh,
we
by
really
the
gotta work
size
out.
and shape, you reckon it probably was a male. I'll give you that one for free.
Okay.
So you
Maybe
don't
I
think
think
about
going to the castle during the day is not ideal, because by now they notice that their guards are missing.
Yeah.
So they will be on watch. They will be, on.
Oh, yeah.
They will be looking for us. So trying to
Yes.
sneak in now,
No. Yeah,
I
you're
don't know
right.
about it.
No, you're right.
Do we need somehow to lure as many out as possible? Because now we've got all the pirates here. The more we can get out of there, and therefore create that kind of distraction and take some of them out, then we could then try to sneak in, which we know is going to be difficult, whatever. But
Okay, now I hear two different plans here. One is, let's see whether we can secure a ship. So, in short, let's go east. And another one, let's see whether we can somehow wrestle down this army, or whatever, this garrison in the fortress.
yeah, I don't think the ship's going to go away anytime soon, because they're going to be wanting to search the island for treasure. So I don't think there's any urgency around the ship.
I think that having the bodies with us, like these people with us, it's kind of like having red shirts. So
Yeah.
it's good to have fodder, but also they're going to make a lot of noise. So whatever we do, we need a plan, but we have to. I think we have to gather more information and not just get distracted with a boat.
Robert Redshirt.
Yeah.
I wonder if we climb the volcano, the visibility we'll have down upon the castle, the keep, may tell us something. Maybe.
Yeah. The volcano over there.
Now we've been but we've been there, right?
Yeah.
You've been there in
Yeah.
the jungle, yeah.
We've been close. Now, it doesn't look a pleasant climb, but we'll get good visibility, and we'll also see clearly where the pirate ship is.
Now, we had a few discussions before about railroading, right? I'm almost feeling like I should do a little bit of railroading, if that makes sense, because you seem to be going off the rails a little bit. But by all means, the island is big. Yeah, you can spend quite some time on here. Quite happily, because there's lots of nice places to find, etc. But just think about what you actually want to achieve. Yeah, I'm very happy to cater to whatever it is, but you just need to agree between yourself.
You want to get in the castle, you want to get a boat.
I mean, what we want to achieve is get the amulet, defeat the evil bad guy, get all the treasure, get the boat, get off the island.
Yeah.
That's it.
We're just not sure in which order to do all of those.
I think that was a good order.
Kill all the bad guys.
No, kill that bad guy, as in
just the one. Right.
yeah.
Okay, now
The
here's
big leader.
something. Here's something I'm going to toss you as a little line to see whether we can point you in the right direction. So you are still talking. You're talking to amongst each other and to God Avat and about this island and about how horrible it is and all that, but how also promising, full of treasure it might be. When one of the Kushites comes up and says, Gal, I found something here. Look. Well, he clearly can't read because there's a note. And he's holding it out to Gal Avat.
Mm-hmm.
And Gal Avat looks at it and said, that's foreign. I don't read foreign.
Luckily for us, we have someone who reads
Foreign
foreign.
translator.
And he looks over at your good old friend Moataz and looks at it and says, oh yeah, okay, yes, I can read this. And it says this. If it works. No, it doesn't work. Of course it doesn't work. It says, I will just read it out. I was going to dramatically pop it onto your screen, but actually I can. It just needs 3 steps rather than 2.
That's kind of like us. We do things in 5 and 6 steps instead of 1.
It says that.
Oh,
Parley on the beach, truce.
Semerkat. I was looking for his name.
I love that he said parley on the beach, on an island that is surrounded by beach.
It's very specific. Look, I didn't write this adventure, but the guy who found it said, found it over there, down to the
I
south.
don't trust this guy.
Found it down to the south, you know?
Oh, what's he got to parley though? He hasn't got the eye. He
He's
needs us to get the eye for him, probably.
yeah, but he's the guy going in and out.
Actually, these guys are much, much better than I
That
gave
makes
them credit
perfect
for.
sense.
So,
That's why I was doing. I was looking.
You scan the horizon a little bit. If you're looking, do me an observation roll. Tell me how much you've got.
Just
This
a
is
regular one.
Difficulty 0, actually, if you're looking. If you're
Oh
actively
well,
looking.
that's easy. There,
Because you might get some momentum from it.
Oh,
You get one
freak.
momentum from it. You see a thin wisp of clouds coming from roughly over there on the other side of the beach. The bay.
and we promptly go over.
You look a bit closer. Now, what? Nobody has sailing, right? You still haven't learned that, right?
Yeah.
Mortaz has it.
Okay.
Sailing?
I think so. Or does none of us? Maybe none of us has.
No, you would
Yeah.
say on the sailboat, but I don't think anybody actually tried to invest some time learning how to sail. Let me look. Sailing, he's got nothing in it.
No, I don't remember anyone having sailing.
Okay. So there seems to be almost like the wispy smoke is not quite constant. There seems to be like breaks in it, and then it's back, and then it's break, and then it's back.
So smoke signals.
Yeah, we ask Mortaz if that's a language.
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Pay attention.
Just look at it for 5 minutes.
Just look at it 5 minutes. You'll be able to speak the whole thing.
I speak smoke language. Yeah, right. Of course.
We know that he would try.
It looks like it's deliberate.
Yeah.
He says. So you make your way that way?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yes, there's no harm.
Do you want to take any of these Kushites here with you, or Shamites? Or
Yeah, I guess Skal Arvat will come with us. And he's
Yeah.
a main player.
Yeah, okay, you can count, but he will probably bring at least one other guy. The rest have to
At
defend
least-
the camp.
The
Did
biggest.
basically the slave group and the pirate group have some sort of, what should I call it? Of Interessenvertretung?
Yeah.
Representation.
That's the one, yeah.
No taxation without representation.
Also,
So, okay, now actually they seem to have pulled together a fair bit. Maybe it's
Yeah.
just they had to truce because they had to. because they have to survive together or something. But you didn't really notice that they were so antagonistic to each other in that group where Karl aber was. So you make your way across there, and you come early morning still, I don't know, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. By the time you reach the other side of the bay, you see a rocky cliff face there, and there is a couple of arrows drawn in the sand pointing towards a cliff.
Okay.
Essentially leading us into a dead zone.
There is a cove where it's aiming towards. But then you think, okay, the guy probably didn't want to meet you out in the open because he would just shoot him.
We could have done.
Just Cryers puts his
Essentially,
arrow
we are
away
going.
again.
It's not like an outcropping like you see here, essentially, with cliffs on 3 sides and just one
The
away
cliffs are
from
basically
that.
all the way around there. Now you're asking me to do geography here, but basically, the cliff. This is a cliffy headland, but there's a little bit of an inlet, like about there, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Okay.
there. I can draw on it again. And there, basically, it's pointing towards a little cove.
Okay.
Okay.
The cove to the beach at sea level. That's okay, I guess.
Yeah. That's fine.
And it's only one person there, right? It does
Doubt.
not want to draw right now. Oh, there we go. About there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So as we approach it, can we see quite clearly there's no one else there?
It looks empty as far as you can tell. But
There's
you
no one
are.
hiding.
There is an inlet basically, and it is surrounded a little bit by cliffs, if that's what you mean. But it's not a
Yeah.
death trap necessarily.
Okay.
And it's actually quite idyllic because it's beautiful sea there, blue water, all that sort of stuff. Remember that nice picture I showed you back then?
Yeah.
Yeah. This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just need to show off my art again here. So that's what it looks like. Beautiful, right? Nothing possible could go wrong here. Nothing possibly could go wrong. You step into that and you hear a voice echoing around it after a little while. Shouting, "So, you have come. Good. Yeah." Shira is showing up her background pictures. Look, I can change them on the fly. Very good.
So like my uniform.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. You still wearing that?
Yeah. No. Partially.
Yeah, keep hold of that. Could come into use. Later.
And he looks at you, and he seems to be up on the cliff. You actually see him there, but he can see you and he can shout at you because he's got this echo chamber of the things around him. He says, "Good, you have come, and you brought some company. I would parley with you," he says.
Oh.
What do you have to offer?
"I have an offer you may want to listen to, but might
Yeah,
be easier if we don't
we're-
have to shout it all the time.
Are you going to come down or are we coming up?
Give me your word that you're not going to attack me now. I'll come down."
We will not attack you.
We have a truce for now.
And he looks at Karl aber, and Karl aber sort of nods and says, "Yeah, truce. Let's parley like true pirates."
Okay. I'm gonna look over at him and give him like I'm gonna give him a look to persuade him not to even think about double crossing this guy.
He sort of is cowed by your
Persuade?
determination a little bit and nods. But he says, "Of course, parley's word is a pirate's word is a pirate's word."
Good.
So, and
The most reliable, folks.
Tothmekri comes down and he sits a little distance from you, but this is much better, he says. Much better. All right. Let me just think.
What does he look like in terms of what he's wearing? Does he look like he's well kept? Does he look like he's been taking care of himself?
He still
Or
looks
does he
roughly
look-
like that? So
Okay.
Does he have
I've
a
got a new
scar?
picture for him.
Okay. But he doesn't.
He looks like
Does he look like he's been that he could possibly be the person who's going in and out of the castle or fortress?
Oh, interesting.
Does he have shoes?
He has shoes on. And he's got some. He's got more clothes on than there, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I closed the picture because he looks a bit creepy.
It really does.
He does.
So I nudge Krius to kind of look at his footwear.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye. I'll check his shoes.
He's
I'll try and
wearing-
get a judge on his weight. Would he be making the depth of the princess? Or
Okay, that will take a while they're having a conversation. So he looks at you and says, right, we, I think, have the same goals. Don't we?
No.
Yes. Well, goal number 1, escape.
That
Number
tracks.
2,
Yeah.
Well, the next one is more of your goal, I guess. You still want the gem, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
that's for you, clearly.
I don't know. Actually, my patron gave me the mission to return this gem to this island. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't need it anymore. It's just that I feel like its magic has sort of reached out to me and my destiny is entwined to it. So I would rather find a way to break the curse, but I have no interest in the artifact itself.
The way that you're going to break the curse is by going in to the fortress.
You think?
I'm
Why-
convinced.
Why is that?
Why would they take it? Why would they have it?
It's a pretty
They're singing
gemstone.
merriment. They are happy.
Whoa.
They have achieved something.
I'm
And what
more
happens
interested
if
in
they
the-
release it?
in the treasure generally? I don't want to go coming home empty-handed, after all this. But gem,
We'll help you with the treasure.
you can keep it, as far as I'm concerned.
Tell us a bit more about your employer.
No. If I did, his curse would strike me down. So I would rather not. No, but I have the offer. You want to go and get this gem? Do I hear that right?
I mean, we will,
Yes.
yeah, at some point.
Oops, yeah.
Yes.
I might just be able to give you some information and show you some. I found a secret path into this place.
Yeah,
Really?
we've seen it. We've been there.
I have been in it.
Where does it go, the secret path?
I have met the people, the strange people who live there. There was
How did you get in? How did you get past the guards?
very early on, I snuck in there, and there's this, how do you describe it, a circus, essentially. An arena. And I thought
Yeah.
nobody had noticed me, but all of a sudden I was surrounded by these people, and they threw me to the ground. But as soon as they saw my face, they stood down. And they respectfully bowed in front of me, and they guided me into the city.
And what did you see?
Oh, they tried to guide me to the city, but I commanded them to let me go. And they did. They did. They just let me go.
They do that.
I just spoke Shemitish to them because I was a bit afraid of them for my life. But when I told them to let me go, they just nodded and acquiesced and walked away.
And they bowed at you out of respect, as if they acknowledged you as their king? Leader?
Something like that. Now, I didn't actually speak to them in much detail, you understand, but that's basically what it appeared like to me. But
And
I
how
So
did
they
they-
recognized your face.
Maybe. But when I think if I arrive there again, I can show you the path. But even should they challenge us, I think me being there might grant you passage in.
Yeah, but we know the path already.
Yes, but can you get past
Well-
them?
Will you come in with us?
If that is my way of the island.
We'll help you with the treasure and getting off the island. But you need to help us get in there safely. And we need to recover the eye. Or at
But
least
what's
we need to
stopping them attacking
find
us once
where
we're
it
in there?
is.
Sorry, Christ, I didn't hear that. Say it again.
What's going to stop them attacking us once we're in there?
Yeah.
When we're all surrounded?
Control of the guys in the castle.
They could have killed me, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
But
just
what's
you.
stopping you from killing us as soon as we enter the
But-
castle with you.
I suspect that they recognize my likeness. from old Tothmekri.
Absolutely.
So they will recognize my authority, I'm pretty sure. Look, it's just an offer.
Just really quick, out of character, remember how the whole ritual demands the blood of Stitch and Royalty?
Yeah.
So essentially, they goaded him into getting the amulet and the blood for them, and he's just the cannon fodder, essentially, the
But
Bauernopfer.
they wouldn't have let him go.
Yeah. I mean, they would if they knew that he has no way of, leaving the island. And they've shown already that they can just get people from their camps in the night.
Okay. I'm gonna try a different tack.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I am gonna try naturally charming, which will yield a point of bonus momentum.
We know.
And I'm gonna say to him, you need to be honest with us about your patron. And I'm gonna spew off. I'm first gonna give him an opportunity to give me an honest answer that I'll try to detect. But if he doesn't give me kind of an indication that he's going to tell me something, I will start naming Publio and some others that I will take time to look at once I roll.
Oh, those
Okay.
great threats. I will start naming Publio.
That I will start with Publio the bastard.
You basically want to run some names down. Okay. Let's say,
Yeah,
is it this?
yeah.
Is it this? No.
Is it this? Is this this? Okay,
Blink
so hold on.
once
I'm
or
closing
yes,
down my
twice
pop-up.
or no?
So,
Right.
difficulty?
10.
What?
It's specific that he will not reveal his patron because he's in fear of death, basically. You can't charm that out of him, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's bad.
That's a tough difficulty, that is.
It is a tough difficulty. You can't basically make that. There's no way he's going to tell you this at this stage. Let's put it that way. He might at some point, but he's not going to do it at this stage. Yeah, you think that what he was hinting at earlier, you don't have a mage here, you don't, other than Mortas, but Mortas probably knows a little bit about this sort of magic, that there are some, what do you call it?
He may be under a magical...
The geese, essentially.
a
Yes.
geese. Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
To
Okay,
say
so...
if he utters the
Probably
word,
he's
he
always
instruct them.
terrified.
Or maybe he's just
Okay,
terrified. But when
I
he
guess
was
I'm going to try to... I guess I'm going to try insight, which I'm not great at, but I'm going to try
do an insight.
insight to see if he's lying about double-crossing us.
Yeah, okay, do an insight. That's fine. You can do that. Oh, look at that. You can actually have one momentum from that. You think what he's telling you about the offer, he's being honest. If you want to spend that momentum, I can tell you a little bit more. But you're going to probably feel, that's what it says, but you probably feel shortchanged.
No, I'm going to keep it.
Okay. So you think he's genuine about the offer?
So I look at the other three, and I just nod my head that he's telling us the truth.
I mean, at least you probably, your own instinct tells you, yeah, what he's saying is true, but it's not the full truth.
And I get a sense that possibly that he will never reveal, or that there's something compelling him not to reveal who his patron is.
Very much so. There's something compelling him.
Okay, so when I have a moment alone with the others, I'll tell them the same thing.
I just feel very uneasy about being led into this fortress with him leading the way and not knowing what's going to happen when we're in there and we're potentially surrounded by dozens of these natives.
One word from him and the whole castle, is upon us.
Exactly.
It's just...
Could happen.
have no chance.
I trust him.
Hmm.
I trust that this is the only way that we're going. If that's our, unless we're doing something else like investigating P or N or
those
something
are
like
the
that.
rails.
Investigating the other areas of the island, just to be clear on what you mean.
Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. If we're going to hex crawl it, then let's hex crawl it. Otherwise, let's go directly and trust him.
Take.
Hmm.
It's up to you two. I don't mind. Because we'll eventually get back. I think we'll eventually get back to the eye. But I think that this is an offer that we have that's, I think it was called a hook.
Hmm.
A hook?
A hook?
Captain Hook?
Maybe we have no other option, but it just feels quite dangerous.
I mean, the question is, what could, what can we possibly gain from hex crawling it out?
Hmm.
Like they are the
Experience.
pirate gang, possibly a boat, possibly
Experience.
another tribe. Experience that we can't spend because we don't get downtime.
I've given you the chance to spend some on the ship, remember?
Yeah. But
That's
on
true,
the island,
yeah.
we won't
did,
have downtime. That's just a given, I assume.
I think
let's do it. I mean,
I think we should try it. I don't think that we're going to be so overwhelmed.
okay.
Hmm.
Krius?
Yeah.
I just need a couple
Well,
of information before that. You were in the castle, you say. How many of those people were there?
Strange people.
Yeah.
About 8 who surrounded me.
Yeah, but what do you feel like the population of the fortress is? Like, how many are there in total?
I wouldn't be surprised if there were at least 100 in there. There seemed to be some sort of organized body. So these were just the soldiers. There must be others. Have you seen the farms and the fisheries?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen him.
Yeah, if you consider how many people they seem to be feeding here, it might be hundreds.
Hmm.
Go the poison route?
Kill.
Yeah, I'm okay with not hex crawling it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it feels we don't have much choice. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Well, I'm glad you say that. That was him, Semaket, not me as GM.
No.
Yeah.
Of course
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was. Of course it was.
Of course.
With a
I
smile.
like a good hex scroll. There's nothing wrong with a good hex scroll. All right. So, you're coming right away, or do you want to wait until it's night?
We ask him what he thinks is best.
Depends how daring you
What
want
is
to be.
best in life?
No time like a present.
No time.
Nothing else for us to do, is there, beforehand?
And he looks at Karl Albert as well. And Karl Albert says, well, I have no desire to go into this fortress with you guys, but I might be able with my people here to see whether we can find some ship or some transport in the meantime.
Fair.
Yeah. Just don't leave without us.
Yeah, they won't leave without the trash, and the trash is in the fortress, so I guess we got that covered.
Maybe you should give us one of your men, a strong individual, to prove that we're not taking the treasure for ourselves, and that you can have a witness.
He looks at you.
A liaison, so to speak.
You give me your word, I trust you like that. I need my people together in the camp. In case these beasts are taking us again.
We will get the person back.
Good. I've lost too many men. So, with this plan, Yeah, you can rest up if you wanted to, but basically the plan is now you're following the suggestion, and Semaket is taking you through his passageway to meet these guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Okay. Is that a good moment for a cut for us tonight? So we can have Mortis with us again? Or is it too early? Do you want to go a bit further? We've been at it for 2 hours. Normally we play 2.5. We can do another half hour. Up to you.
I'm good with either way.
I'm good either way.
Shall we roll a die? Shall we ask the audience? Because we still
Ask the audience.
we have a few people.
Ask the audience.
What do you guys
On
think?
the other hand,
Shall
if
we-
there is an audience, then
we
let's
have
go
a couple
on.
of people watching. We have, if the numbers are right, you never quite know. 3 on Twitch and 2 on YouTube.
Well, in that case,
So 5.
Let's go on.
More people are watching than playing. I mean, oof, whoa.
Yeah. Let's keep on going.
It's almost
Let's
like
go,
Critical
yeah.
Role here.
Let's go in there. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We're
Okay.
spending almost as much time as they do talking about plans.
Exactly, yeah. We've been
To be
quite
honest-
decisive here, haven't we? Let's just do it. Let's go.
I haven't actually watched any recently.
Neither have I.
So, but it's only going to be the journey there. I don't want to do any of the key scenes, you know that, right?
yeah.
So that Mortis is going to be there. So you make your way through the jungle. It is, by now you actually sort of recognize a few of the landmarks that are about. And, yeah. Someone could ask you, do you need to rest at all before we go?
How much rest did we get before we got disturbed?
A few hours. You're still quite tired.
So why don't we get a couple of hours more sleep, a few hours sleep?
Yeah, you can do that at the pirate camp if you want.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
And so we go in during the night.
Or afternoon.
No, this would be morning then. won't it?
You still have daylight left to go in at.
Yeah, but not if we rest now for several hours.
Oh, I thought we were sleeping
We'll
during the night.
rest. We'll rest and we'll figure out timelines once he wakes us up.
You rest for a little while. Okay. So, can you just check your character sheets whether you've got any fatigue left? Oh, hello, Kitty.
None?
No, I think we cleared
No.
it down last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kitty wants to cuddle now. So, stop rubbing against the microphone.
Bad kitty.
That Kitty. I hope you can't hear that. But
I can.
She's rubbing herself all over the microphone.
Sounds like static electricity.
Yeah, that could happen. Cat's fur, like in the physics lesson. Yeah, so completely attracted by this tentacle here in front of me. Come here. Say hello.
Proper pet tags.
I remember when your cat was
There you go.
really small.
This is the same cat, well, one of them.
Yeah.
So, it's Luna. That was enough of cuddling. She doesn't like cuddles that much. Unless she's in control, that she likes them. So, Kitty, indeed. Where were we? You rest for a little while. It's afternoonish when you go again, and the semi-cat actually comes down the beaches at you and says, "So, you're ready to go?"
Yeah.
Right.
Remember, we have your word.
You have my word that I'll show you the path in, and I will introduce you to these people.
I've-
I'll open the way for you.
I've taken off any of my anything that identifies me as one of them, and we should make sure
As the murderer of their brethren.
as
yeah?
the murderer. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and
Wasn't us.
we will go in by the other gate, not through the arena, through the other gate we found.
The secret way.
No.
No, he's taking us through the secret passage,
He's
isn't he?
taking
Yeah,
through
but-
the same passage I took last time.
But we don't have to. They already recognize him. They know him.
I don't want
So
to risk
why?
it. Have you seen how many
risk
dead
it?
bodies there are lying there?
Yeah,
in front
okay.
of the main entrance.
Fair enough.
Now I show you the same path.
Might I remember that that body's lying at the other entrance?
Are there?
Yeah, they're hidden though.
I mean,
He doesn't
Yeah.
know this, Semaka doesn't know this.
but we do.
You put those bodies there, yeah. I know you're claiming you can't go because you hit bodies there. Come on. You go that way.
Yeah.
It's actually not even going to be half an hour. It's going to be a few more minutes, I think, because I want to lead towards the scene. Right, which I actually have to do from the book because you've got slightly further. Believe it or not, because you bypass a lot of hex crawling.
Just skipped like
You can
2
do that
chapters
afterwards.
worth of adventure.
So,
Yeah, that's right.
it's just this bit here. Have I got that on my notes? So you crawl back towards there through the jungle. You dodge and weave a little bit. He says, just in case there's any traps and so on. Really careful. So it is early evening by the time you get back to this entrance. And indeed, he leads you to the same little crevice and the same little passageway that you had seen before. And he leads you into it and says, after you. Or do you want to go? Him to go first?
Obviously.
No, you need to go first.
Yeah, you need to go first.
Really?
Yeah,
You said
because
you
we
lead
can see
us
first.
in there, not follow us in there. So lead the way.
You're the one that they're not going to kill.
Right. But be careful. This is a tricky passage. Be careful where you put your feet. So he leads the way. He actually has a couple of torches hidden in a nearby bush. He gets one of them out, sticks it on, and says, the passage is dark. I need to see where I'm stepping. Exactly what he had found as well. Pushes the vines aside, and then he goes in. At the end of the corridor is this metal gate that you had seen as well. And beyond the bars is a great chamber of some kind. Well, if you've been there, you've seen all of this. Fallen to ruin. So he steps into this arena, turns around to you, and looks, extinguishes his torch, and looks behind us. Are you coming?
I want to do an insight. I want to see if he looks like he's
About to
scheming.
betray us. Yeah.
I want to see if he's
Okay, I'm not going to tell you the difficulty. There's one codified.
I'm just being observant.
So I
of the
leave it. So I leave it as it is, and I am going to use my momentum. Oh, how did I not use it?
Oh, you've done
Anyway,
momentum.
whatever.
I keep doing that. +1 bonus.
Don't know. You were going to buy an extra die. So
You've done the wrong.
Yeah, but it's okay.
momentum
it's okay.
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
So-
it's fine.
You think he's still, doing the same deal?
Telling-
as far as you're concerned.
Okay. At this point, can I spend that momentum to discern the information that he was going to say down at the cove?
The information that he was going to say. Which one?
You said that if I had spent the extra
Oh.
momentum.
I sort of gave you that anyway.
Okay.
What he said was not untrue, but he wasn't telling you the whole truth. But I guess you suspected as much. I gave you that for free.
Yes. Yes.
Because
yes.
I just
okay.
thought I didn't want to give you the.
Okay,
feeling
there
that
wasn't
he
anything
completely-
further. Okay, so there wasn't anything further that you could actually specify. Okay,
Not at
that's
that
fine.
point.
Okay.
That's what you get for being generous, you see.
Mm.
Right. So you step through there. As I said, it's relatively darkish now. He extinguishes the torch because I guess he wants to be careful. You step out. When you all step out, when behind you, you just hear clang, and the grid has been dropped over the exit you just came through. This little crevice, yeah, there's a metal grid over it now, and you hear a sort of hissing all around you.
What a surprise! It's a trap.
Comes out.
You had the choice to
This came
not
out of
take him away.
nowhere.
And you hear this hissing, and he steps a few steps. He sort of runs a few steps forward and jumps up on a couple of these ranks, where you were seated earlier.
Mhm.
This guy was definitely sus. So, where is it? Where did I pick this up? As you look around and you you take in the scene and the soundscape of this, and this moonlit, well, not quite, but dusky sort of environment. There must be dozens, maybe even hundreds of people all the way, sitting all the way around the ranks, looking at you. Some of them look quite human, some of them almost inhuman, with their snake features and eyes and so on. Some of them almost could walk across the street in Stygia or Kush, but the majority have a serpentine cast to their features. So everything looks a bit off, a little bit off. One of the Stygian appearing guys is dressed in real finery, really, really posh stuff, seated on a higher chair in a pavilion that they have rebuilt at the head of the arena, where it links to the fortress, so above the entrance to the tunnel, if you like. And sitting on the smaller throne to the side of this person is a woman of exquisite beauty. Of course, this is a Conan game. Though her features are marked with an obvious cruelty. Shira, you've seen this before. This
Sayene?
No, it's not her. But you've seen this sort of cruelty in women before.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes.
Yeah, and part of your order, you know, your cult, whatever you call it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You recognize that. The similarity between her and the image you've seen of Xosath in your dream world. There seems to be a relationship. She seems to be of similar features. And as she looks at you, she licks her lip, licking her lips and grins. On the other side of the king sits a young man. The kingly person is a king. He looks very similar to Semaket. Yeah, if they were wearing the same clothes and so on, you probably would not be able to tell them apart. That's how similar they are. And he's just leaning forward, staring at you with a savage glee on his features, his hands clasped and rubbing together in anticipation. A moment later, Semaket emerges next to them. He has run up there, smiles with his arms crossed. So, well, I did bring you here. I did introduce you to the people. So I consider my promise fulfilled. Agree?
Agreed.
Good.
No, not agreed. We are in the arena. The
And
deal was
just
I was in the fortress, so
Exactly.
I put my hand up at Dirzo and say, "We're screwed. Let's leave
how
it
are we
alone."
so gullible? Like we got burned so many times.
That's a clip. We are screwed. And Semaket looks over to the other people, raises his hands, and then just addresses all. Let the games begin! As the audience roars and hisses with bloodlust. And that is where we put our cut.
I'm tempted to stick an arrow in him, but anyway, yeah.
All I know is
entering
that
the tournament arc.
Krios and Durzo are so pissed off with me. because I was the one because they were both hedging, saying, "Let's do this, let's do that." I'm like, "Let's go. We can trust this guy."
Yeah, look.
Oh my god.
Cliffhanger. Indeed.
Okay.
You know, in a way, that this is one of those checkpoints. Yeah, there would have been another way, but it would have been much more complicated. This is one of those checkpoints. It's not that you are doomed until death yet.
Yeah, but we would have ended up here anyway.
One way or
basically.
another, but you now definitely
You
have a
make
bit of
more
a
in our
fight on your
favour.
hand. Yeah, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So it now says Act 5 is coming to a close.
Oh,
Oh.
So this scene is the end of this act. So that means next time you will have your fortune back.
I didn't spend a single fortune point in this act.
because you're gonna need it.
You're gonna need it, yeah.
Then the next thing is, where is it? The chapter has much higher stakes than the previous ones. It says, okay, well, there were some, but there were so many cool things you didn't do in the hex scroll. But anyway,
Oh.
that means that if you were inventive in your exploration of the island and dealing with other survivors, I think you were reasonably. It says award everybody 400 experience points.
Or was that 100 or 400?
4.
400.
400.
One,
Oh,
two,
400.
four.
Okay.
400 experience points, which is quite a lot. You just have to be able to spend them at some point, which means surviving first. Yeah, it says spending these experience points, however, is a different thing. And the game master should approve the purchasing of any talents that seem unlikely to have been gained. I think that's a typo.
Yeah, just common sense approach.
Yeah.
What have we done?
As we have done in the past. So if you've done something really in the jungle, then I might let you spend something before the next scene starts. But I think that brings us to the end of Act 5, which luckily is exactly how far I had prepared for today. If people are keeping track in their own books, that is page 144 we're going to go for. So we're now starting book 2, chapter 6. And that is... how many pages?
So this was end of Act 5,
Yes.
not 4.
End of Act 5. Did I say 4 earlier?
No, it was I thought we are entering Act 5, so.
Sure, we are 57 pages from here.
But it's all dense.
You've read it.
What happened?
There's a lot of stat blocks in here.
You told us last time.
There's a lot of stat blocks in here. Okay, I think that's a good time anyway. So we can have a quick chat about next dates and so on next time we play. Christmas is always a bit trickier, so we'll see whether we manage quite the frequency we had over the last few weeks. But I'm really looking forward to the next bit of this. I think you're in a great position, and it will be good to have Mortis back as well as our player. So, for now, thank you very much. We had a nice audience today. We had some fresh watchers who have not watched us play Conan's before, Ferratis. Thanks for watching. And some others who returned, like Daring Paw was here today, and Kai was here today. Who else was here? Let me scroll up. Ghost in the Machine was here. Ghost in the Machine, you know that film? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So, really good to see you all. I hope you tune in again next time, because it's actually, for me, it's slightly distracting, but it's actually good fun to see the comments. So shall we say goodbye to everybody?
Bye.
Bye. Remember to push your rolls and all that. And we'll see you soon.